credits page.
Oh, nice.
There's not much on it. Hopefully we can grow it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I don't know about you guys, but I use some incredible map makers from Patreon that really make the difference. I think some of the encounters. So I'll form a list of the ones that I use.
Yeah, we've been playing for a long time, and we collected these over the course of like a year or more, and haven't really noted where they're from or who made
Yeah,
them. So we're having to troll back through everything.
yeah,
But if
very
anybody
true.
watching sees your stuff and you're not credited, let us know.
And
Be
sorry.
gentle.
Well, they're excellent. So I'd like to drive more business their way personally.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. If you see some, let us know.
So, quick recap. Last week, um, it was predominantly racing from the Durgar fortress in the mountains to the south, um, chasing after a construct dragon that somehow escaped and maybe it was released, and chasing it across the tundra and the mountains to try and catch up with it and stop it destroying Tentams, which you discovered is its goal. You'd finally caught up with it in East Haven, um, did some damage to it, learned a little bit about what it can do, what it's resistant to, what type of attacks it has. Um,
Mm.
but no sooner as you dealt some damage to it, it upped and left, with you unable seemingly to stop it, proceeding on its predetermined route. Um, Already tired and beaten and worn down, you decided the only course of action really was to rest, which you did. And that's where we ended last session, I think, with you resting in East Haven in the speaker's house, and about to set off wherever you're choosing to go.
What time is it? Did we sleep? Was it night time we slept, or did we just sleep whenever we could?
Oh, that's a good point. Um, I've got it as 6ish in the morning, so you must have slept.
Okay.
I will start the clock.
I
Yeah,
left my
Toggle.
tissues upstairs. What if someone dies and I cry?
Watch them fall down your face. You
Wow.
collect them up and whatnot later.
That's the most positive thing I've ever heard.
We're about to fight a big dragon again.
Yeah, Tok will wander down from his room. He won't look like he slept very much. There'll still be blood on his clothes, and he, yeah, looks a bit bedraggled. And he'll come down to wherever there may be food. Is there any breakfast? I think we need our strength today. If it's going to be my last breakfast, then let's make it a good one.
Yeah, the speaker and some of his servants are preparing pretty much whatever you want. They're very well stocked, as you'd expect, the speaker of the town.
Don't say things like that, Talk. We're prepared. We're strong. We'll be fine.
I just feel a bit useless in this fight. I can't do anything to help. There's things in the sky, and I'm not.
Well, once we ground it, you're the most useful member of this team we have, so now isn't the time to start doubting yourself.
No. Well, let's eat, let's pack, and let's go. In fact, let's eat and go. Let's take it with us. Can you pack it up, speaker?
Yes, of course. We'll have it prepared for travel. If that's suitable for you, we'll fill up your water skins.
Yeah, time's of the essence. I don't expect there's any news of where the dragon's got to.
There's just so much chaos everywhere. No one's really much the same as us sending out any runners at all. Everyone will be defending their own towns, I'm sure.
Do you know if the runners got out and got a message for people to move out of the towns?
I know they got out. They left the city as far as anybody could see.
We just have to have faith they made it. That's something we can't control, Talk.
No. No, you're right, we can't. Okay. Let's do this then.
Would
Okay.
you like me to try and warn people before we leave? Want me to write it in the sky?
I mean, I think that's a good plan if we the summer star to clear the sky, but we should wait until it's still quite early. Would it still be dark this time of year normally? Perhaps we need to wait.
It's relatively dark even in midday. So yeah, it's safe to assume it's pretty dark.
I mean, even if is the north a bit like the north here in the summer? There's almost too much daylight, and in the winter it's dark. Okay, so yeah, may well be a good time to do that, and perhaps wait until we think more people will be awake and outside, and then we clear the skies, and you write your message.
Okay. I think it can last for up to an hour. And
So you can
if
leave it
it's
in the sky.
Yeah, and if it's quite short, I might be able to do it a few different times. Well, if it's kind of 3 words, I can repeat that 3 times.
Okay. Well, save your strength and your spells. I think this one's worth using, but I think we also need to bear in mind that it needs to be in the right place in the sky so that everyone can read it. Otherwise, it'll be backwards, won't it?
I wonder if it needs to just be facing one way or whether I could write it in a circle.
I think perhaps if people can read, they can read it back to front well enough, and it might be less confusing if it's just in one or two directions than in a ring.
To be honest, I struggle to read forwards, and I wager many people in the towns do too.
Pretty much what I was going to say.
We only need to warn a few people in the towns. They'll warn the rest.
Maybe if we just keep it simple. Dragon. Run.
That was what I was sort of trying to get at. A simple one that can be read easily may be better than over confusing it.
Okay. Well, just tell me when.
I leave that up to your guidance. I personally would wait until people would be starting work, venturing outside to begin the day. Maybe 8 o'clock.
Okay.
How many hours travel do you have to Bryn Shandar by the time you get there?
3.
Right, so
With water walk?
I have it prepared and I can do it as a ritual.
Now you're asking. I need to check my map again. Let me work it out. Sorry. I didn't sleep too well.
Yesterday was a stressful day.
It's 14 miles. So if we take the roads and we use the dog sled, we can cover 3 miles every hour. It's more than 3 hours. I think the 3 hours probably was with your spells accounted for.
Okay.
You can see Tok counting on his fingers, on his massive scaly sausage fingers. Four and a half hours without magic.
did we say you'd knock an hour off for water walk or something like that?
Was it 20% or something you dropped? I can't remember what you knocked off.
Don't get too hung up on it. We knock some.
So yeah, so if it's a quarter, then it would take it from 4 hours to about 3 hours. Now the question is, do we get to Bryn Shandar and set up, get ready, prepare the ballistas, or do we keep going anti-clockwise until we meet the dragon and then deal with it there? I can't shake the feeling we'll be sat in Bryn Shandar waiting while it destroys Targos, Bremen, Lonely Wood. They'll just be gone.
I agree, and I feel like if we're going to try and bring this construct down from the sky, we ought to do it before it reaches the town, not while it's over it.
I mean, should we not have this conversation when we get to Bryn Shandar? Because if it's already there...
Well, I'd rather have it now than if it's not there. We got 3 hours on the road. We've got all the time we need to plan. And I know we've planned it 3 times over, but...
Just the ballista in Bryn Shandar, and they didn't seem much use, but it's still something.
Well, those bolts weren't much good, but that idea about using the harpoons might not be a bad idea.
I mean,
Well,
they got...
We need to decide now if we want to take them with us.
No, they're already there. Oh, what, the harpoons?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Because
yeah,
that's how we
definitely.
could probably put the sky.
So let's take the harpoons with us, but we can get. I agree with Cass. Let's get to Bryn Shandar and see the situation. If it's already there or imminent, then our decision's made for us, isn't it?
Yes.
And if it's not there already, we'll see if we can take the ballista with us, but that's a question for when we get there. Come on, guys, let's move. You all look really glum.
So I'm pushing you on to 9-ish. But if you want to continue talking and planning, I'll just stop the clock, and we can say that happens during the journey. So within 3 hours, you've got plenty of time to discuss and strategize and whatever else you need to do.
Before we leave, these items that we took from the Durgar hold, who is best to use them? This cloak, this Puafwe, and this wand.
I know who's best not to use them. That would be me.
Whoever could use them against the dragon perhaps would be better. Spent some time during the journey to sat on one of the sleds and, if possible, trying to tune themselves with them. If it's possible to, at least try.
Well, the cloak probably best for Snitch.
I don't remember what the cloak does.
Elves use them to hide.
It's the equivalent of a cloak of elven kind.
But it will disappear in sunlight, so you can't wear it when we use the summer star.
If exposed, it needs to be an hour of sunlight.
Oh, okay.
Just to.
How long did the summer star work for last time?
Well, I'd have to check.
It was about 10 minutes, I think.
Who has it?
I have it. Threadreader has it. I'd look in my pack. It takes 1d4 times 10 minutes for the new conditions to take effect. Once they do so, you can change the conditions again. And then
we need to be... Wow. So we need to use that before we want it to be effective, but we can't be sure how long it's going to take. Maybe we just use it within the first hour of travel.
It's a 5-mile radius.
Yes, within 5 miles of you for the duration.
I think we should wait, because last time it attracted some unwanted attention, but maybe that could be dealt with by the dragon if it happens again.
Are you talking about the Frost Maiden?
Yeah, last time we used this, we attracted her attention, and we immediately had some trouble with some unwelcome visitors, didn't we?
We dealt with them quite easily, though, didn't we?
We've got enough on our plate, you know.
True.
I mean, forgive me, I'm not familiar with the skywriting spell, Eris, but if we can find an area of cloud that's a fairly uniform colour, can you create cloud of a grayer or a lighter shade to write instead of clearing the skies? Would that work just as well?
I wonder if I could kind of part them a little bit. I don't really know. I've not used it before. So as far as I know, they appear to be made of cloud, but that doesn't say whether it's solid cloud, just the formation, or whether clouds can shape around it.
You should use the summer star. Sorry.
What's the intention?
Just to write probably dragon, hide a couple times. So if we've got like a solid sky of cloud, could we, rather than creating cloud in a clear sky, could we actually then move the cloud to write the words?
Use what's already there, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's magic and stuff.
It doesn't. Yeah. It just says made of cloud, but it doesn't say in which part of the writing. So I'll kind of carve the words out of the cloud. Don't know why I keep doing that.
Yeah.
Do you need us to write it down for you?
That would probably be quite useful.
I think we
I'm
should
not
still
very-
use. Go on.
I'm just going to say I'm not very good at writing, so maybe
Well,
Cass or Fred Reader can do that for you.
but if you just hold out your the back of your hand for a moment, back of your glove, what is it we want to write? Just the word dragon?
Run or hide.
Head for the trees. Head out of town. I don't know.
Dragon, leave the town.
Leave the town.
Dragon. Leave.
Okay.
Town.
Dragon flee towns. I will. You pass me your hand, Eris, for a moment. I'll flick my wrist, and a quill will appear in my hand, and then I'll write in bold letters on the back of her hand, "Dragon flee towns," and then fear not, I can erase it when you're done, and then the quill will disappear.
Okay, and then I will take the time to, in between casting water walk, so we're actually travelling now, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take time between casting water walk to bridge cast, skywrite, and have dragon flee towns, dragon flee towns, dragon flee towns, just one long strip of dragon flee towns, as many times as I can, so 3 times in total.
Yeah, and might I suggest a comma? I think it's very important for grammatic. Otherwise, the citizens might think you're insulting the bravery of dragons and that they run away from towns.
I have written down a comma in my notes, so that, yes.
Yeah, this is good, yeah. I'd just like to
I
be
don't know
sure.
why, but I thought you might be the type to correct grammar.
It's important.
I never really learned what all those dots and slashes and things were for. Got better things to do.
We missed a moment there, but we could still. I wonder if we should still use the Summer Star, just because the creature was made by Duergar, and Duergar don't really go out in the sun. We don't know how Shardlin works. Maybe if we can expose it to sunlight, we don't know what effect that could potentially have.
True, maybe they'll hate it.
We could try when we confront it, but I'm a little worried that it will escalate the problem for us.
Or it could not give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, this thing, you keep telling me that it was given instructions and it's not intelligent, so if we meet it on the road, is it just going to ignore us and fly straight over?
I don't know.
I think if we are based in Bryn Shandar, if we base ourselves just outside the town, so we're still within range, if that is the case. Because the worst thing, I think, is us having to chase after it.
Yeah.
I think what we know is when it lands in the town, it spends some time there. It takes some time to destroy the town, obviously you have seen with previous settlements. So if it did fly past us, so the previous town, the chances are, if it is still intact, it will stay there for some time and give us an opportunity to catch it back up again.
Yeah, but cost. This is what we have to weigh up. The risk of, well, the cost of leaving those towns to their fate. But it getting a head start on Bryn Shandar, where, let's face it, everyone is going to be heading. Or do we just wait for it and hope that people left town? I'm struggling with that one. My conscience isn't letting me do that. I can't leave them. You know, we've skipped Cerdinaval, Caerconnig, Lonelywood, and Tourmaline because we know we can't get there in time. But Bremen, Targos, we don't know. So my vote is for pushing forward if the dragon is not in Bryn Shandar, to push past. It's probably an hour to Targos. And if we see it on the way, then you all do those wonderful things you do and pull it from the sky, and then we'll deal with it. Maybe we'll just save a few more houses. You've been here for weeks now, you know how harsh this place is. We're a long way off getting rid of this endless winter, and any people outside in this for any period of time are going to die.
Okay. If it's not there, we'll push on.
It's my vote. Obviously, everyone else has their own views. I'll go with the group. Snitch.
I've got the concern of if we're going to Targos and it just flies over the top of us, there's no chance we're going to be able to get back to Bryn Shandar in time.
And you see Targos from Bryn Shandar.
It's a good question.
It's a big dragon. I feel like we'll be able to gauge it.
Yeah, you'll be able to see the dragon. It's 4 miles, so with Eris's magics, then we're looking at, what, under an hour?
From how far away do you think we could see the smoke of burning from Bryn Shandar? And if we can see the smoke, could we judge which town is being hit or has been hit and make a call when we get to Bryn Shandar?
I knew there was a reason I liked you, Threadreader. Yeah, that's brilliant.
Your heart's in the right place, Doc.
Yeah, but my head's not always the best. But between us, we got it all figured out.
Oh, you convinced me.
There's too much space in it.
Along the journey, anybody wanting to look for smoke or light in the distance or the direction of Bryn Shandar can roll a perception check, please.
That's nothing to lose, is there, to try?
Nice
the
roll,
same
nice
dice
rolls.
as me.
It looks like I do, yeah. I'll tweak him a little bit.
Rude.
I just wanted to make him
shiny,
disgustingly shiny to fit the fact that Snitch is super greedy.
Sorry, I just rolled as the party, not as Talk.
Well,
I thought my perception was good.
Eris, all begin to see. I mean, visibility isn't great because the weather has started to pick up ever since you left the fortress, really. With flurries of snow and the wind beginning to gain in strength. So it does make visibility a little tougher. But great rolls there from a lot of people. Yeah, you see more the darkness shape of a city in the distance, or a town in the distance. It looks normal. There's no screaming that you heard at the East Haven. There's no light from fires, and there's no bells ringing. So all seems in order at this moment in time.
Are we in Bryn Shandar now?
Yeah, for all intents and purposes.
So it doesn't look like anyone's evacuating.
I think didn't we discuss that Bryn Shandar was the most defensible town in all the 10 towns? So I think that was the plan, wasn't it, to get all of those that can fight there. It looks like the ballistas are here.
And in fact, as you arrive and pull up to the gates, you see the opposite. In fact, rather than people evacuating, you see trains of people trudging through the snow out of the woods to the south, meeting up with other trains and groups of people. Based on a direction talk, you would assume that they're coming from either Dugan's Hole, Goodmead, or both, and making their way to Bryn Shandar, guiding livestock and cattle and whatever they could grab as best they could. There isn't many of them.
How few of them there are. For me, this is more reason to push on past.
These aren't fighters. These are just people.
We're fighters. This is why we're doing this. It's for them. It's for all of them.
Can we look in the direction of Targos and see if we can see in that 4 mile distance any smoke or a big flappy
Bryn
thing?
Shandar is on higher ground than Targos, so we might have to move to the other side, and then we might be able to see it. Depends how clear.
Yeah, you would need to move to the other side, or maybe even walk around, because it's walled. The city's walled, and you could probably walk around some of the ramparts a little bit.
Don't want to waste time.
You can't see Targos from here. It's too far away.
What's the visibility like? Is it snowing, or is it clear, or maybe when you use the summer star, then
it's blustery. It's a little foggy, misty. Flurries of snow blowing into your eyes and whipping your hair around your face. Those that have hair.
I don't have hair.
I think
beard tendrils.
You look nice, Cole. Verlin, Durex, Spaghetti, can you get the ballistas on sleds or whatever they use to carry them here and follow us, and we're just going to keep pushing on to Targos?
Should we just take one ballista and leave the rest here?
Couple. We've got enough kobolds for a couple.
As you push your way through the crowds, and it's much fuller than you've seen it before. Lots of people in the street, milling around, confusion. Not panic, but it's confusion. People hugging each other, not quite sure where to go, where to turn to, taking stock of their belongings and doing head counts, making sure everyone's there together. You catch a sight of the ballistas from East Haven. They're still on sleds, so the ones that are already up were already erected by Bryn Shandar. There are an additional 2 or 3 ballistas on sleds, already dismantled. And the folks that had brought them here are beginning to unpack them.
No, come on. We're going to move on to the next town. Too many people here.
Okay. Let's go.
Sorry. We're
Oh,
doing
oh.
this as a group, aren't we? No time for indecisiveness. This is what we're doing.
Okay, miss. We'll load it back up.
Let's vote. Who wants to push on? I do.
Let's take some of these and ballisters and push on. Can we rig the ballisters to work off the back of the sleds?
I mean, I'm no expert, but they need to be fixed down. They might get damaged if you fire them off the sleds, or they might fly back and kill whoever's firing them.
Can we use some of the ammunition to peg for the front and back of the sleds if we want to use them?
I mean, I've got a hammer. We can hammer in some stakes and ensure it's fixed down. Just depends whether we've got time for that. I mean, there's one way to find out. Fire it and see if it works, or if it shakes itself apart, or if it kills the person loading it. I'm no expert, but I think it needs to be staked down. Steve, sorry, as someone with martial weapon skills, is that a fair assumption, or could it be fired off a sled?
It's a fair assumption, and this is like another level again from martial weapon. It's more of a siege weapon.
Yeah.
But in principle, it works the same. It's a giant crossbow in essence. It could probably be fired, but you know that they're usually fixed and anchored somewhere solid for firing. You've never seen one fired when it's not been anchored, but you know that it would have a kick to it, and what that would do to the crossbow, whether it would tip it over, whether you'd have to spend time righting it back up again to fire it again, or if it would kick back and damage the person that fired it. All of those possibilities. But it would fire. Just maybe more difficult to aim and stabilize, that's all.
Yeah.
I was just worried of Snitch said meeting the dragon halfway, but
well, something just occurred to me. We fought it in East Haven, and once we'd done so much damage to it, it seemed to fly onto the next target. If we meet it halfway along the road, or we meet it in the next town, when we do so much damage, it's going to come back here anyway. But that means we've got more opportunities to damage it. We don't know what it's going to do after Bryn Shandar. According to that map we saw, it's going to return back to the fortress, but do we really want to go all the way over there and try and find it? Or indeed, if it starts its circuit again?
We can't let it leave.
No, exactly. But we do know if we hit it in the next town or hit it on the road, it's still going to come here, and that's another opportunity to hit it. If we can't get it out of the sky. Admittedly, if we get it out of the sky and we're in the middle of nowhere, then we're on our own.
It's just going to come here. Maybe we should just stay here, but there's too many civilians here. They need to go back into the woods.
Perhaps we get word to the speaker before we leave.
Well, no, if what you say is right, and we hit it in Targos, and then we have to chase it all the way here. I don't want to leave Targos to the mercy of the dragon, but maybe we should just stay here and be ready.
There's more people here now than there will be in Targos. Targos is one town, and we've got the population of Bryn Shandar plus refugees from all the other places. So I'd say this is the place that's probably more needing protecting.
Go with whatever the group thinks.
We've just got to have faith we can bring it down in Targos, don't we? It's just doubting ourselves.
Gonna take if we get all the way to Targos, it's probably going to take us 40 minutes to get back. The dogs are still good for half a day, and if we need to, we can push them.
These sorts of logistics really aren't my forte, and I'm happy to bow to your weight of knowledge, Talk.
They're not my forte either. I'm just finding it hard to leave towns to die. Not the kind of tactical decision I like to make. No, you just think I'm a brute heiress, but not who I want to be.
Then that means you're not a brute.
Now, yeah, let's stay positive. I mean, all the way over here, you spoke of tactics for bringing this thing from the sky and landing it and defeating it away from towns and population. And if you have confidence in these plans, then no further towns are in danger.
I hate to admit this, but I think that she's right. Helen's right. If we can, if there is a way that we can possibly bring this dragon down away from a town, we have to try. Even if it's trying for a short distance from the town, so we can retreat back to help with its defense. But if we can bring it to the ground outside of a town before it's had a chance to attack the people within, has to be a preference.
Yeah. I've changed my mind 3 times now. Let's just go.
Should we head north?
Cass is a sucker for a rousing speech. I say that with affection.
Trying to be a good leader that listens to people but makes decisions, but listens to people.
Okay.
So, onwards to Targos.
Is it Targos or just outside Shandar?
Your call. Assuming you're taking the dismantled ballistas with you.
I think we should take one or two.
We can always assemble
get the
them.
others set up.
Where we set up, wherever we set up defence, we can assemble them. If it's just outside Bryn Shandar, we can set up the ballistas nearby and have them assisting us.
Well, if we need to get round to the other side to travel to Targos anyway, don't we? So what can we see when we get to that side?
Yes, let's do that, and we'll make a decision then whether to go to Targos or to set up just outside Bryn Shandar.
Perception checks, please.
And it.
21, okay, 20. Nice rolls. Thread reader, snitch. You're quite attuned, being from this region anyway, knowing what to listen for, listening for breaks in the wind. Visibilities. It's not nil, but it's not 4 miles worth of visibility. But you know, sound can travel quite well if the wind blows in the right direction, and you wait for the bluster to change direction. And as the wind changes, you focus, and again, you don't hear what you would expect, as you had done from East Haven. No bells ringing, no fires burning, no people screaming, though it is 4 miles away.
Don't hear anything.
Shall we take a risk? Make all speed to Targos, set up just outside Targos gates.
We'll be leaving a lot of people unprotected.
Targos is 40 minutes away.
If we fail to bring it down outside of Targos gates, then can I suggest that we leave about, and this is hard to say, I know Tok's not going to like this, but bear with me. We have 40 minutes travel back. We don't know how long the dragon will tally in Targos. If we fail to bring it down before it reaches Targos, perhaps our most sensible route of action is to abandon Targos and head back to Bryn Shandar to help defend this town. I can tell by your silence that you didn't like that suggestion.
It makes sense, Thread Reader. It's just hard to come to terms with.
You're making a lot of sense. It doesn't mean I have to like it. I mean, whether we go or stay, we need to set up outside of the town anyway. If we want to bring it down where it can do as little damage. You all saw its breath weapon. How far did it reach? 100 feet? 150 feet? You don't need to be far out of town to stop it from hurting these people. And those that are courageous, those that are brave, can come out to meet it if they want. I hate to say it, but I think we're better just to set up a little way along the road.
You can move your token wherever you'd like to set up on the Icewind Dale map. Currently in Bryn Shandar.
No, Tok, you're the one that wanted to save Targos. Let's try.
Other people than me have said it's a bad idea. I'm not as smart as Thread Reader or Eris or you, even Snitch. No offense, Snitch.
I mean, I'm pretty fucking stupid. I think you're underselling yourself there. See, I couldn't even get that right.
Neven's very quiet. I'm sure he probably wouldn't care whether we save anyone or not. No offense, Neven, but it's probably true, right?
We want to stop it before it gets anywhere near all of these people, don't we?
Yeah. Well, we need to decide now. Just vote on it.
Go to the dragon.
Say again?
Can we just go to the dragon? Can we just go and hope that we can meet it where there aren't people?
Let's take a risk to try and save as many people as we can. Head north to Targos, set up outside Targos. If we see the dragon, if we see smoke from Targos on the journey, reverse, come back to Bryn Shandar, set up just outside Bryn Shandar.
There's our tactician. That's the plan.
Let's do it. Let's not talk anymore. Let's just go.
So,
let's get these harpoons set up with the ropes so that we're ready. I'll have a look, figure out how to set up these ballistas before we get there.
Okay. So as you gear up, you're heading to where, did you say? Between Bryn Shandar and Targos, or past Targos, or?
head to Targos.
Towards Targos, yeah.
As soon as we see smoke coming from Targos on the journey, we'll turn around and come back to Bryn Shandar. If we don't, we'll continue there.
Okay. As you get closer to Targos, I'll say you're moving now, if you don't mind. Yeah, you make out the shape of the walls. You know, Targos is walled as well. You've been there before. You do see, we do pass a few stragglers, or not stragglers, the opposite of stragglers, the first on the uptake of evacuating Targos that actually head into Bryn Shandar. A few early birds getting the jump on the move. Not many, not a massive amount, but you imagine that flow will increase as time goes on. But Targos is not under attack. No flames, no dragon.
This is good. If they evacuate and the dragon spends a good half hour or whatever here trying to destroy the town still, this is the perfect battleground.
It is.
Definitely.
It is. It's empty.
We better make sure it's empty.
I'm gonna leave that up to you. I'll. Have they got ballistas as well?
Yeah.
Wow.
They were warned.
Well,
Thanks
that's
to the Breakfast Club.
They listen to us.
What direction would it come from? Where's the next town that's set up there?
Where's the map?
And we'll ride to wherever that is through the town saying, "Get out! Dragon's coming! Leave! Go to Bryn Shandar! Not a joke!"
So the map that we got from the fortress, it is, well, we don't know where it is, but it will go from Caer Konig to Tourmaline to Lonelywood to Bremen, then to Targos. So we could, in theory, keep going to Bremen.
No.
But I do feel like we're pushing our luck the further we go.
I agree. Should we set up our ballistas to the west of the town, assuming it's going to come from Bremen?
They already seem to have them here, so
We'll set them up with our harpoons. And is anyone staying to fight?
The city is still relatively populated. You've only passed a couple, but you imagine they've got message to leave, or civilians at least.
My message changes. Civilians, get out! Anyone that can work a ballista, stay!
Well, let's set up to try and take it down before it gets to the city, gets to the town, and starts destroying the town. If we fail, then they're there to defend it.
We probably want to be north then of the. It'll come in from the northwest, according to that map. Okay, so we set up to the northwest. Although if everyone's gone, then buildings can be rebuilt.
Is that a lake? A frozen over lake?
It is a lake. It is.
My fire will be useful.
You want to melt the ice and
get it grounded? I'll drown it.
I mean, it's very refreshing swimming in there.
That actually might be a very good idea, Cass. Let's get to the northwest side, shall we?
The shore?
Oh, game's paused.
Yes, the shore seems a good place. They also may be able to help us from the walls if we bring it down within sight of them.
Okay. make sure Velin's doing her bit.
Where would you like Kobold? Where would you like Velin?
I mean, I think we should put some of those on that ballista on the end of the harbour wall. How many has she got? Has she got 6?
6.
I can't imagine they're going to be very good at firing it, though.
Would they not man our ballistas, rather than the ones the city already has manned?
Is anyone manning them, or have they just evacuated?
There's no one manning them right now, but militia are still present. You imagine they probably will be when the time's right.
I can jump on 1 or 2 with people to make sure they fire it decently well.
Yeah, and I'm not a terrible shot.
Is there anything around that looks like it's strong enough to tether the harpoons to?
City walls.
Yeah,
Just the ground. Even the ice will be thick here. In the dead of winter, the winter that's gone on for 2 years, that ice is going to be so thick.
There's thick ice. There are pretty heavy, solid fortification walls. Although the walls aren't made of stone, they're made of wooden poles or roughly hewn tree trunks pointing upwards. 2 layers, and in between is just packed with dirt and rubble, and about a foot gap between each layer. So it's like a double skinned wall. You can walk on top.
Or should we try and tether it somewhat before it gets to the wall, rather than try and tether it to the wall? If we want to protect the city.
Yeah, let's do the ice.
Yeah.
It's a port town, from a lake point of view at least. A number of ships, number of ship anchor points and anchors.
Hey,
Let's
you
get some
put it where you want,
anchors.
and I'll start hammering the stakes in.
If you can get even though the lake is frozen over, are the anchors beneath the ice?
Well, they tend not to drop anchor in port. They would have them on deck, and they would tether onto the shore or onto the jetties. So the anchors are withdrawn and within the ship's hulls, on the bigger ships at least.
I like the anchor idea, because if they do work, if they're heavy enough, and I melt some ice, and we throw the anchors in the water.
I think the plan is getting better as we go. Should we see if we can get some of this militia to help us carry some of these anchors out?
I'll sort the anchors. You just do what you need to do. I'll go get them. And Tok will just wander off towards the ships. When he gets there, he will drag an anchor across one at a time.
I may be cheating because they're not on the map, but could Durex, Spaghetti, and Tall Tree operate another one of our harpoons?
They can. You're going to have to be careful with Jorix and Spaghetti, because any visible Durgar will be met with suspicion.
Are they still with us?
They're my best friends. I'd want them to be. Everyone that can help. They're the reason this is all going on.
They're your best friends, but you don't even know their names.
This is probably a fairly good idea.
I know their names.
We can keep them outside the town with us, can't we? We don't need to go inside. Tok can go inside and as you said, and try and sort the anchors out. But
yeah, Tok's already gone. He's off, basically taking anchors off the biggest ships he can find and dragging them across.
Strong enough to carry them out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, you have a good force working for you.
tell you what, I'll follow Tok in because well, hang on a moment, Tok. I spend a bit of time casting a ritual spell and create just check I've got it now. I've started saying. No, scrub that. I didn't take it. I thought I'd taken a levitate, the disc, the floating disc spell. I didn't take it. Apologies.
It's all right. I need the exercise anyway.
We can have it following behind us on a floating disc. But never mind.
Using dog sleds too much makes you soft.
Do you hate that when you've been looking at spells and thinking, oh, should I take that? And think, change your mind, and then you immediately come across a situation that would be really useful.
That's the problem with wizards.
That happened to me like 3 times in Out of the Abyss yesterday.
I don't have that problem as a barbarian.
You're keeping the kobolds with you for portable ballistas. The townsfolk are going to man the wall ballistas. How do you want to prepare? If this is the staging grounds that you've decided upon.
How tall are the walls?
Good question. It'd be 20 to 30 feet, I would say. I mean, they're not designed to repel dragons. They're designed to repel like marauding orcs and barbarians, that sort of thing.
Do we remember how low the dragon was flying when it was attacking the previous town?
I think it got as low as about 100, 150 feet.
I think 100 sounds about right from what I remember.
So if we're on the walls, that at least brings us into like the 80 to 70 range.
Well, if we bring it as soon as we bring it to the ground, we'll all be within range if we manage to take it down. Otherwise, we can head to the walls, can't we?
Yeah, it's just making sure we can bring it down. It's going to be so freaking strong. We've got to try and make it weak.
Neven has said that he can make 2 of us fly, if it helps. So I'm just reading what Nick's put in the chat.
So can Velin, because we made her learn it. Levitate.
Levitate, yeah.
Okay, Neven can make 2 fly. Actually fly.
That's
well, yeah, I didn't think we could do that, so that's actually pretty game changing. But is that going to use all of Neven's spells though? If we do that, sorcerers don't get a lot, do they?
Whereas Velin can do. It's only levitate, but she's got nothing else useful.
That we know.
Yeah, levitate's not very controlled though, is it?
She's very useful in that she has kobolds controlling 3 ballistas.
Hello.
Oh.
Hello.
Hello, Nick. Hello.
I just got home. Yeah, so fly just spends 1 spell slot and a few sorcery points. So if we think it's useful, I'm happy to do it and get 2 of you flying.
Well, it could be 1 to cause problems and 1 for the immovable rod. Try and pin it somewhere.
Yeah.
At the very least, if it doesn't disembowel the thing, by making it suddenly stop in midair,
makes it an easy target.
It will make it an easy target. for a while.
That'll certainly help us tether it to the ground, won't it? If we can get it to the ground. I'd forgotten you had that, Snitch.
Wasn't it thread reader to reduce and Eris to what was
Earthbind,
Eris
I
going
think
to
you
do?
spoke about.
Yes.
So it was shrink it, ground it, smash it.
That's
Bolt it!
So if we go multifaceted, we have if I could, yeah, if I float up and cast reduce on it, and then
There's got to be a Daft Punk song in there somewhere.
yeah.
But yeah, if it can get reduced, then Earthbind has more of a chance. So I think it's going to be too strong for Earthbind by itself.
And if Earthbind, if we fail with the spells, we still have the possibility of the ballistas bringing it down.
Harpoons, yeah.
Yeah, and then once it's down, if we can manage to get it down, a Snitch can be ready to dart in and thrust the immovable rod to somewhere that might pin it.
So a goblin is classed as small, correct?
That's what it says on your character sheet.
I believe so.
Okay.
The next size down would be tiny, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
How big would that be?
Pass. Let's have a look at the.
Even I'm annoyed at my brain for wanting to do this.
What are you thinking?
Reduce down Snitch.
Okay.
Strap him to an arrow, so it's not quite as
not as dangerous as not as dangerous as when you just tried to hold on.
Yeah. And immovable rod it if possible, if it gets low enough, and try that.
Would
I think Snitch would quite like to do that.
Oh yeah, Snitch would be like, "Why? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it."
Would Snitch be able to use the immovable rod? Would that reduce with him? I assume it would, I guess.
Yeah.
It would if he was holding it when you cast it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any weapons or anything that they're using at the time gets reduced as well. So it'd be tiny, but if he hits the dragon, it does, like, I could let go of reduce as he gets to the dragon, so him and the rod are full size by the time he gets to it.
So
if we don't miss it completely.
If two of us can fly, why don't we try that? If Neven can make me and Snitch fly, then Snitch doesn't need to be reduced, does he? And we can both I can try and reduce him, and you've got range for your Earthbind from the ground.
And this is a sound plan, but it's less fun.
Strap an arrow to your back if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, I'll tell you
my argument to this, and you know, I'm not an expert, but this thing looks quite strong. Can we? What kind of effect are we expecting reduce to do compared to how strong it is? This is literally a massive dragon made of metal. So yes, we can reduce its strength a little bit, but it's not going to be enough to actually have an effect.
That's a good question.
We'll make it less strong, which means Earthbind could work.
Until the spell ends, until the spell ends, the target also has disadvantage on strength checks and saving throws. So that's the thing, we're looking for the disadvantage. Because if
we go metagame with it and talk numbers, this thing's probably got like a plus 13, 14, 15, 16 on strength saving throws. So with disadvantage, if what it's trying to beat is like a 15 or a 16, still gonna beat it like 9% of the time.
I've got a plan. I think.
We also have the harpoons. We have lots of layered plans, and Snitch possibly stopping it with the rod as well. So
the other thing is,
I'm just gonna throw firebolts at it from way out back, so good luck with that.
If the immovable rod is shrunk down smaller, the weight it would take to move it isn't going to change, presumably.
No.
So, would that make it, in effect, more dangerous because it's more focused in one area than like a broader?
Depends what you're trying to do with it. If you're trying to tie something to it, it makes it harder to tie more ropes onto it.
No, I'm
If
just
you
going to
wanna lock
wedge it
it
in
place-
somewhere.
If you want to wedge it in, it's easier to wedge in, but it's less dragon mass for it to affect.
That is a good point.
It might be more of a scratch, less of a gouge.
Yeah.
If you were to shrink the dragon, would that reduce its breath weapons range? If it's halved in size, would its breath be half as?
Are you asking me?
Doc's just saying it out loud.
Does it? 1 second. So the
Says
target size is halved in all dimensions, and its weight is reduced to 1/8 of normal. This reduction decreases its size by 1 category from medium to small, for example, until the spell ends. The target has disadvantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. The target's weapons also shrink to match its new size. While these weapons are reduced, the target's attacks with them deal 1d4 less damage. This can't reduce the damage below 1. So if it's, I know it's not a separate weapon, but it's still classed as a weapon, so I'd say there'd be some kind of reduction there, whether it's damage reduced by 1d4 or whether it's distance. What do you think?
It's not going to make a big difference, is it?
no, it's not.
No.
It's very much up to our DM, I think, that one.
Yeah.
I think the point of this, though, what we wanted to do was to make it easier to catch the dragon, so we can try and make it a bit easier to catch it by reducing its size a little.
Yeah. But if it's big, it's easier to hit. It's a bigger target.
Well, I can always drop the spell, but once we've caught it, once we've snared it, we just need it out of the air, and I wanted to reduce its strength so that we could bind it to the ground.
Binding it to the ground bit is the important thing.
Exactly. Once it's bound,
I can't help you when it's up there.
Once it's bound, I can restore it to its original size if it's easier for everybody.
How many of us need to be very close to it to fight it? How many of us fight up close?
It's not necessarily. None of my spells reach 150 feet in the air, which is where it spent most of its time. I don't need to be close, but I need to be closer than that.
My bow did nothing to it last time. I hit it, but it didn't seem to do much. So I'd prefer to hit it with frostbite if I could.
I'd rather be as far away as I need to be, but just like Cass, I need to be fairly close.
Okay. Yeah, so my fly is not going to cover nearly enough of you for us all to fight it.
Cass and Snitch, as you're having this conversation and strategizing on the shoreline, you see some shapes from the north coming across the lake. Very, very slowly beginning to take shape and solidify into shapes. And you then see pinpricks of lantern light, and you presume them to be more refugees coming from would be the direction of Tourmaline.
Get off the ice!
They don't need to worry. The ice is so thick here.
Well, I know, but I'm just an asshole.
No,
they're
they should
probably in
get
its
off the
path.
ice.
They don't need assholes right now.
That means Termalane's likely. Does that mean Termalane's being hit? We should ask one of them if they've seen the dragon, or they're just fleeing beforehand.
If they've walked to here, Termalane was hit hours ago. Hours and hours ago. So we need to move them quick, and we need to move them on. They need to head to Bryn Shandar or head to the nearest woods. If there are any. Are there any? No. The nearest woods are past Bryn Shandar. They just need to keep moving. They don't want to be here when that thing arrives.
Just outside the town until after it's passed, basically.
Can we ask someone if anyone from Bremen has been through? Whether they've already evacuated or not?
Yeah, you could ask a passerby, one of the militia. He's unsure. There's a little bit of confusion. He's really just been tasked with looking after Targos, and he's leaving the speaker to deal with anything relating to other towns. But he's not noticed anybody, or there's been no real announcements or any type of thing.
So we're getting people from Termalane, but we've not seen anyone from Bremen. Concerned that they haven't got the message.
We can't worry about that now.
Okay. How many anchors do you need? That's 3.
How many harpoons do we have?
How many harpoons do we have?
There's enough. You won't run out. Put it that way.
And all of the anchors.
There's many anchors as we have harpoons.
Okay. I'll go get some more anchors. I'll just literally strip every ship of its anchor. And I won't ask permission.
Yeah, there's no one on them to ask anyway.
You thieving little rebel.
I'll put them back.
Yeah, sure you will.
Can we see Bremen?
Let's take a look.
It's not a long way on the map, is it? So it's not as far away as the Targos and Bryn Shandar.
Kind of. You can make out. There was a bridge, or what looks like a bridge, that crosses the river, which you can make out a few miles away, and you can see the dark shape in the distance of Bremen.
I don't know what other preparations we have to do, but I want to ask. Just keep an eye out for when there's smoke, and when there's smoke, I want to ask Threadreader to use the Summer Star.
Okay.
Okay, I shall prepare. We need to be prepared for additional enemies, though, if we use it. So
if I die today, I'd like to see the sun. Other enemies be damned.
We're not gonna die.
Thought I might live in Targos one day.
And do what?
I know it doesn't look much. Not much. It doesn't look much now, but in the summer it's beautiful when the lake's melted. Not in the city though. I'm not a fan of cities.
I think I'd
Maybe
like
build
to see
something.
I'd like to see 10 towns in the summer. Hope it comes one day.
A little lake house on Targos.
All the sun you could ever want. In fact, the sun doesn't even go down at the height of summer. It never really sets. You just get a sunset around midnight that lasts for hours.
Summers in Targos, winters in Waterdeep.
Yeah, I could go for that.
What's Waterdeep?
It's where I'm from.
It's very warm there.
Sounds wet.
Surprisingly not.
No, it's too warm to be wet even.
Then why'd they call it
Let's choose
Waterdeep?
the name then.
By the sea.
Yeah, probably. I don't know.
There's a bigger market for ice cream there than there is here. I wish this thing would just get here.
If you're done preparing.
That wasn't a hint. That wasn't a hint for the GM.
I mean, no, I've got good perception. I'd be keeping an eye out. That'd be my role.
I would just be dragging anchors, taking them off every ship I can find them on, and I guess we're tying them to some sort of ropes to use with the harpoons. Was that the plan, or did I mishear? Or did I dream that? Yeah.
That was the plan.
Yeah.
I'll be built in a snowman.
Prepare the summer star and sit watching Bremen.
And Eris is going to be rocks.
Just wanted to say, if I do end up dying today, well, I can't remember what I'm sorry about, but I'm sure there's a few stuff. Most of the things I've said, a few things I've done, or suggested to do, or what I was intending to do in the future. So I'll still do them if we make it out of this alive, but if I don't end up, then I apologize for suggesting them or intending to. Does that make sense?
Now, young elf, there'll be no dying here today. You see, Cass, you've seen him approaching. Middle-aged man with his hair slicked back, bit of a ponytail, bit of a goatee, furs pulled up around him, striding purposefully. He's shadowed by a red-skinned tiefling in plate mail, carrying a big sword with him, accompanying a few of the guards. He's talking to the militia as he's walking around inspecting the walls. I assume the message came from you fine folk. The Breakfast Club, is it?
That's us.
Glad to hear. Glad to hear the message got through. We were worried that the couriers wouldn't make it.
Oh, well, thanks to your message, we've been able to make some preparations, make some evacuations.
Is it all the civilians are out?
No, but hopefully they will be. We've tried to avoid a mass panic and exodus and injuring more people in the trampling, so we've scheduled people to leave at the appropriate time, hit the road in an orderly fashion.
I knew there was a reason I liked Targos. There seems to be displaced people from Tourmaline coming across the lake. They may need some organising.
But Gaff, take some men, see that they're brought in and escorted and directed to Bryn Shandar. The red-skinned tiefling nods, hurries off, grabs a few militia.
Try and keep them off the ice. I'm going to melt it.
Heads out into the ice. Don't worry, milady. They will have come by boat, but they will have to stop a mile or so out. That's where the ice begins. So they will have to leave the boats there. We will make sure they get here safely. Alas, if the refugees from Tourmaline arriving, that means they've been hit. And we are further into a predicted timeline than we expected. Will you stay here and defend Targos, or do you move on?
We stay here.
Good.
If the people have reached here from Tourmaline on foot, then the dragon hit there hours ago.
I agree.
I fear we would not get to Bremen in time. You may not be aware, but we did find a map at the source of this dragon, and it gives a very definite path that this creature will take. In fact, creature's the wrong word, isn't it? It's artificial.
Some sort of construct.
Do we know anything more about how to tackle this thing? Well, we've been given instruction to fortify and prepare for attack from the air, attack from the ground, and we've done what we can, but other than the word dragon, which first made me think of the dragon, the white dragon, but then I've been told that it's not this. She's left us alone for years. There's no reason for her to descend on us now. We've done nothing.
It's not her. She still prefers elk and reindeer.
Okay.
No,
so
we do know from our previous encounter that, with respect, Cass, that your magics were not as effective as you had hoped. So we think perhaps holy magic, as effectual as it normally would be. Likewise, I shot it with arrows, and although it damaged it, the effect was poor. Its hide is like metal. So these ballistas will serve us well, hopefully.
They contain no enchantment, my friend, and it's all we have.
And I think everything helps. Everything helps.
You can damage it with those. You'll just need to hit it over and over again.
Clear the enchantment.
Okay. We're going to attempt to bring it to the ground just outside the town.
Are the ballistas magical by any chance?
No. They're made of wood and steel.
It might make more sense. It would make more sense to just, if I were to throw the ballistas at them, at the dragon. Like the entire thing, just lift it up and throw it at it. Might be more with a catapult spell.
He jokes, right?
You only get one shot.
How heavy are they?
Good question.
Heavy, I would think.
I do have that information somewhere, but yeah, they're heavy.
We'll probably get up to 15 pounds.
400 pounds. They weigh 400 pounds.
That's a bit above my current lifting capacity. So scratch that.
I mean, I might be able to drag it along the ground for a short distance, but I don't think I can throw it. They will damage it. They just chip away at it.
We know it didn't seem to hurt it very much, but over a course of time and over many shots, it will contribute.
If we die here, good man, will we regard as heroes by any chance?
Only provided at least one person lives to tell the tale, of course. I think if you die, we all die. And then there are no heroes.
What sort of question is that?
I just, I mean, we have to consider the possibility that we die
And even you've already been a hero many times in your life already. It's just another opportunity.
Just trying to find a silver lining in this nonsense, I guess. His voice breaks a little bit.
If it's a hero you want to be, then let's make sure you don't die. Let's make sure none of us die. Let's bring this thing down.
If I'm being completely honest with you, I can make sure I don't die, but I would also like to not do what I think I should do. So I'm kind of trying to find a good reason to stay. I'm looking for an argument, I suppose, to stay and not do the thing I was gonna do. Might do.
You mean run away?
No, I'll stick around. Just I'm pretty good at removing myself from dangerous situations, but usually it's at the cost of someone else.
Even you're we're not related, but you're my family. Maybe you've forgotten that a little of late, but we're a family. We stick together.
You remind me of my dad talk. He's a very stupid man, but he's still alive, so maybe there's something to it.
If I'm gonna die today, I'd rather die with you all around me.
If I do end up doing the thing I might do, then and in your last moments of your demise, you're thinking, "Oh, he was a coward that left." Just remember, it wouldn't have made a difference if I stayed, and I will live to tell the tale.
And even if you don't want to stay, you can go.
No, I'll stay. But yeah,
we're not forcing you to stay.
I know.
You're not.
I know.
It looks inevitable. I would understand if you took the chance to leave and save yourself, family or not.
For all the changing you need, and this is what convinces me that the Neven we met is still in there. You are still him. You're changed, but you still want to stay.
Even just
as much as you want to leave your spot.
Just looks on the ground and slightly embarrassed and in conflict, trying to compose himself.
Over the next hour or so, the speaker, who introduces himself as Nerth Maxildanar, he arranges to have hot food brought round, like a stew, with some vegetables and meat in. It's quite watery, but nevertheless it warms you all. And it's this pot is passed round all the militia, and they huddle around. Little braziers are lit in the streets and on the walls to keep the guards warm while they keep watch. The refugees from Tourmaline arrive on foot now after they've had to leave their boats behind, accompanied by the tiefling, who then directs them back out of the south gate and along to Bryn Shandar. Sends a few militia with them to escort them. They give them some sleds, not many, dog sleds, to put some of their belongings on so they don't have to lug them. They're sent on their way. They look in a sorry state. Blackened, soot-stained, with clean patches below their eyes where they've been weeping. Some heavily burned, some with arms in makeshift slings where people have been crushed, trampled. Again, there isn't many. And it's a somber sight indeed, and town hushes as they pass through. No one quite sure what to say. The wind changes once more, blows in from the north, and it carries with it thick flakes of ash, soot, and a stench of burning. The smell is primarily of burning wood that you've all smelt hundreds of times, sat around campfires, but also burning metal and meat. And again, the chatter amongst the militia quietens as everyone realizes what it signifies.
Would you like me to try and bring some light? Dawnbringer.
Please.
I shall activate the Summer Star.
Okay. You can click it on your inventory. So, do you want to roll those dice to see how long it takes effect? You can click on it, I think.
I'll just roll it. It doesn't seem to want to roll the dice when I click on it.
Oh, that's fine. You just do it manually if you like. And then you tell me what you'd like to do to the weather.
It's 30 minutes then.
Okay.
I'd like to clear a whole. I'm not worried about the wind or the temperature, but I'd like to clear a path in the cloud,
Mm-hmm.
bring the sunlight through.
Okay. And so it happens over the next 30 minutes. Gradually, the mist lifts a little, seems to as if it was burning off in the morning sun, although that sun isn't here as of yet. And then bit by bit, as the mist and fog lifts, the wind, even though you haven't willed it, does die a little, and the clouds not necessarily part, but just dissipate in a oculus in the sky above you, and for miles around, the sun beats down for the first time in a long, long time onto the city. First time people have seen real strong shadows, strange as it seems. It's a novelty, and it warms you.
Hate it.
Cass is gonna step forward into the light and just sort of bask in that glow, and proper sort of yell out a prayer as if she's trying to reach all the way up there.
Make a religion check for me, please.
Okay. I had a prayer.
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, do it. Do it as well. Yeah.
Where's my religion? Too many tabs. She's just gonna shout out and address Lathander. That's not good. You have been by my side my entire life, and then we came north, and you disappeared. But I found these people, and they have stood by me in your stead. Please look after them.
You don't notice anything happen, but you feel a confidence from within, from you, rather than from Lathander or any external force. You've spoken the words aloud, and whether for Lathander's benefit, probably more for yours, you think, and you are bolstered, you feel determined, and if you do fall today, then so be it. You are with your friends, and you know you'll go to Lathander should you do.
Will walk up and put a hand on Cass's shoulder.
Hey, big guy.
Whatever happens, we do it together.
Always.
I think it's near. I can feel it. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything brave. Just live through this, please.
I will if you will.
Yeah, we're not going to, are we?
We came here to save your people, Tuck. That's what we're doing.
Be a shape.
Let's do this.
Buck, I cast aid.
It's much clearer now that the fog is lifted and the mist has dissipated. The sun gleams down off its back, very clear. You know exactly what this is. All of you do. Heading south, not straight towards you. You can see Bremen from here, clear now. There's again the sunlight glinting off the frozen lake. Fire lances out, ripping through the town. Smoke. You imagine, you see it in your mind's eye, you can't see the detail, you're some distance away, but even though you've cast the spell to clear the weather, the town creates its own weather, its own black pall of smoke rising up, and you see the flash, this metallic beast soaring through the sky, energy lancing down from its grilled maw. And you watch wordlessly, helplessly, as this continues on and on. Relentless, not stopping, not tiring. Now in 30 minutes, Bremen is no more. The beast rises up high into the sky, and as it flaps its wings, it swirls and creates vortexes in the smoke that it's born of the destruction of Bremen. It reaches its zenith, turns, focuses on Targos, and plummets, wings pinned back, heading for you guys. And Targos, any last minute preparations?
Are you ready with that fly spell, Niven?
Are we sure that's going to be useful? Because it is costly to do it onto people. But I'll do it to fight, but
I need to be closer to reduce the size of the dragon.
How many of you need to get closer?
I wonder whether I should go with Fred Reader, but I don't need to. I can just make myself small and go on Fred Reader. I could be a spider.
Where do you want your portable ballistas?
Sort of
there, personally. This thing came, the lowest it came before was 100 feet. So, we made the right choice to make our stand here.
Thank you, but it came out as a ballista.
That one's sentient. It is magic.
Okay, it's going to take a while to get everybody into active combat, so yeah, please talk amongst yourselves.
I cast aid on myself, Tok, and Eris so that your max hit points go up by 5. And that lasts 8 hours.
Maybe that blind spell.
Sorry, what was that?
Who needed the fly spell? Was it Mogul?
Yes, please.
Red Reader and Snitch,
Yeah.
I think, was the plan.
Yeah, I see you going to sit on my shoulder as a spider.
If that's okay.
I completely forgot. I was going to give restorative ointments to... So we each had one.
We'll have time if you need to make any last-minute
Now's
preps.
the time.
I don't have that button where I can give, but restorative ointment to talk, restorative ointment to... Are there 4 others? No. Okay, someone doesn't have it.
Thought I had a healing potion, but I don't.
I don't worry. I tend to stay away from anything that's going to hurt me.
Everyone but Threadreader gets a restorative ointment.
What does that do?
2d8 plus
like...
2 hit points.
Okay.
Threadreader, as it even touches you, you feel yourself a bit lighter and find yourself being able to levitate off the ground. You have a flying speed of 60 feet for 10 minutes, provided I don't get hit.
Thank you, Neven. Eris, do you want to climb on board?
Little spider just scuttles up.
Okay.
I'll probably wedge my... If you've got like a collar of a coat, I'll kind of wedge myself in there so I don't fall off as easily.
Look both. Go bring down a dragon.
I'll climb to a height, a reasonable height above the city, above us. So I think, judging by how high the dragon was flying when we saw it leave the last town.
300 to 400 feet, which you'll be able to get before it gets here.
What am I doing?
Don't go too far. Don't get cut off.
I think you'll be our backup fly if we...
Yeah,
if
don't
this
do
doesn't
it yet.
work.
Yeah, and if you're ready, add yourselves into initiative.
I've put my spiritual weapon down, but can I make that my flaming sphere? Because spiritual weapon would be useless.
Of course.
I just don't have a token for that.
No problem.
Oh.
I rolled a 20, but I didn't click on my token.
It shouldn't matter.
Oh. I came up saying it did, but...
No, you're not on the order. You didn't add yourself into the combat first.
Is that good initiative on Neven? No.
Yeah, you're in.
Yeah, you got 20.
Oh, no.
God.
Oh, I can't wait till I get advantage on initiative rolls because I always roll terribly.
Steve, is that
I don't roll terribly?
actually hundreds of feet away? So my weapon would never get that far. Okay.
Yeah. I'll drill down on a closer map when it comes to it. If we get to nitty gritty.
Okay. Yeah, Tok will sort of walk out into the lake and gesture to Threadreader and point at the ice. About here would be good.
I'll follow above Tok then, and I'll try and get I don't want to go too high, but the idea would be to cast from above the dragon as it comes in.
Okay.
Trying to be underneath it if it starts falling out of the sky.
Obviously, don't drop it on me. Giving Steve ideas.
It comes whistling in. It's a few hundred feet up, about 400 feet up. It's making its first pass, getting the lay of the land, assessing the buildings below. Neven, you have a chance to do whatever you want to do if you want to do anything or can do anything.
So how far away is it?
It's going to pass above the town like this.
Okay, so does it get within 120 feet of me at any point?
No, because it's staying 400 foot up.
400 feet up. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything gets there.
Cash, you'll also have a chance to do anything as it passes over. Also Eris, also Threadreader, Snitch, anybody that's in
dodge action.
I mean, the harpoons. Just try and hit it before it gets in.
Yeah, I'm gonna fire my bow at it.
Yeah, go for it. So
it's long
Neven,
range,
you're dodging, are you?
Yeah, I can't.
Okay.
I don't have a long range.
And I shall obviously eventually I'll cast and reduce on it.
That's an 18 with the first arrow. That's with disadvantage for long range. And 12 with the second.
18 hits. Oh, was it a disadvantage for... Oh, yeah, you did. 18 hits, yeah. 12 misses.
5 piercing damage. You'll just see Tok just fire, not expecting to hit, just fire 2 arrows off. Incredibly long shot. One obviously arcs over and misses, but the other one strikes it. And probably does very little.
Yeah, it hits. It's quite hard to see where it's hit. It's moving so far. You've seen the arrow strike it, bounce. How much damage it did? Probably did some. You're not too sure. The other one misses. Flies a little bit wide. Cass, missed you.
It's not my action, but I'd want the harpoons to try and hit it as it came over.
Yeah, so they're in initiative, the harpoons, with the firers. So.
Oh, then there's nothing I can. I'll just have to hold my action for it to be in range. Fireball.
Okay, Eris.
How long are the ropes on the ballistas, by the way? Sorry.
That's a good question. We never established that, did we?
No.
It's a fishing town, so there would have been plenty of rope knocking around, and you've had lots of time to prepare. So you could have prepared and tied off knots and chains and ropes.
I guess I was kind of thinking there'd be the 150 foot mark.
Yeah.
I think any longer wouldn't really work.
Yeah. Yeah. They would be certainly as long as the range of the crossbow bolt, anyway.
Yeah, okay.
Or the harpoon, sorry.
Because we've got anchors on the end of them, haven't we?
Yeah.
Okay. The ballista range
Spider Eris
is 480 feet. Wow.
I'll be holding my action to cast Earthbind until Threadreader is cast Reduce.
Okay. Which brings us on to Threadreader.
Yeah, I shall do that. I shall cast Reduce. On my mark, I'll tell you when I've finished, Eris, and you go.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Didn't work. Try anyway.
Yeah, so I will cast Earthbind. So it's a DC 14 strength save.
Strength save. That's a 21.
And no, I can't do it to that. Yeah, no, nothing.
Okay. Snitch.
Well, seeing as it didn't fall out of the sky, I suppose the best thing I can do is throw a rock at it.
Okay, 400 feet up. It's as far as you can throw it. Okay.
Yeah, fine. Okay.
You find a good hefty rock. Looks good weight to it. It's substantial. Launch it up, and makes a nice little arc. Good throw. It comes back down to earth. Rolls on the floor a little bit. Not quite the range you were hoping for.
I don't know what people expect me to do if it's not on the ground.
Anything else, buddy?
Yeah.
Okay. Velin is conserving. Does nothing, apparently. She's trying to get cover from eave to eave under rooftops and tent awning and things, and trying to obscure visibility. Ballista. Somebody can make a shot with it if they'd like. It's this one up here.
Go for it. Who wants to go for it?
There's enough of them. Everyone can have a shot if they want.
The Durgar and the thing's not be
Just
shooting.
do it.
Just do it, yeah.
Do it.
How do we take shots from them?
Yeah, I wasn't sure how. That's why I
it's
was.
Just open them up like a character sheet.
And it's in the inventory. There's another ballista in the inventory.
Okay.
Oh, why did I do it?
Oh.
Yeah.
This barbed harpoon goes flying through the air with the rope snaking, unraveling quickly. Hits its maximum length, yanks taut, and drops to the floor with the rope laying out across rooftop. Yeah. Tok, you've had your go, yeah?
I
You
did,
shot
yeah.
the
Sorry,
bow.
I didn't realise
Yep.
we were in. Yeah, I didn't realise we were
Nobody's
in
buddy.
initiative order.
Nobody's buddy. Where's that one? There, this one down here. This ballista down here now. If anybody would like to make a shot.
Gibbs.
Go on, Stitch.
Oh.
Oh, 17. That finds its mark.
Ooh.
It wobbles, snaking as the rope kind of tugs on the back end of the harpoon, but it still ends up finding its mark. 6 damage. Okay. Sinks in. Now, harpoons. What does that do? Okay.
Is that enough damage to actually harpoon it, though? I guess is the question.
It's hit and it's done damage, and it's not so much the damage that it does, but more the purchase that it gets. And let me take the damage off first, because it all counts. Yeah, and it has a rope attached to it now. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Yeah, with an anchor on the end of the rope, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone duck.
Okay. Next team is this one over here. Make a shot.
I really need to go for a stress wheeze, so tell me how many times we hit it.
I'll
I'm
go
sorry
then.
if my
I'll-
cat kicked out.
Oh, it's all good. It's back.
I picked the worst session to try not to have a cigarette through.
Yeah. But could Stitch climb one of the ropes?
I've been thinking this the whole session.
Oh, yeah, good decision.
Yeah. What range is the ballista? Is the dragon at?
It's 400 foot up.
That would be. Oh no, I don't want to say it, but that'd be a disadvantage because it's long range.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm assuming that you were all prepared, and these attacks you were all holding your action for when the dragon passed over.
Yeah.
So that it's 400 foot.
Okay.
Oh. Someone rolled a natural 20, which
Yeah.
hits. Holy shit! Yeah. Wow.
Whee!
5.
So it's just occurred to me Snitch has a climbing speed because he's a thief, which is the same as his movement speed. So theoretically, if he uses all of his turns to dash, climbing the rope, he'll get there in the same amount of time as if he flies.
Yeah.
Flying, you move 60 feet, and if he's climbing 60 feet a turn, he'll get there in the same amount of time. So he may as well just start climbing on his next turn.
I mean, it doesn't make the climbing any easier. It just means you do it no slower than walking. You'd still need to roll for climbing, but yeah, you're fast if you climb. Okay, and the last ballista, which is this one down here.
A critical.
Yeah.
Whew. Good.
Which is good because it's probably halved.
Yeah.
So.
And one last ballista to fire if anybody wants it. From the town militia.
I've had a go, so I'll go with this one.
I'll go on, I'll do it just for... What's the range? 400 feet, so it's disadvantage, right?
Yeah.
No, 11.
No, sails past. So. Oh, we got another ballista. Here we have, yeah. It's this one up here. One of Velin's kobold crews. If anybody wants to fire that one. Trying to swivel it round quickly. Uh, 11 misses. And then the dragon takes a turn. As it turns around and sweeps around, its wings pushing hard against the wind to change direction quickly. The anchors swing, drag across the floor. They've raked across all the rooftops, hit the walls, and it's slowed the dragon. It's moving much slower now. And it's lower, seems lower. Comes back and moves. So okay, I'm gonna get somewhere near the wall. And it will need to use its action to get there because it's much slower now, dragging these anchors behind it. And it's coming lower. And it's heading for this ballista here. But it's used all its actions. And so we skip. So it's very low now, so it'll be harder to hit with the other ballistas because it's more rooftop level. It's 50 to 100 feet up. We're at the top of the round, even.
So I'm on the other side of town. How long would it take me to get to it?
let's see. How far away are you?
So I'm over
2,000 feet.
yeah, quite a while.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna. Let's. I know what we'll do. Let's do something a bit more. Oh, me initiative's gonna go. Never mind.
It will preserve it in that one though, I think.
This might be a bit better. Rather than trying to run from one side of the town to the other.
At best, I'm just going to wait until it gets within range and throw a firebolt at it, see how easy it is to hit, and with a fire.
So you're holding an action.
Yeah.
We'll say there's a ballista set up here with, I think it was townsfolk, wasn't it, firing it. Okay. Who else is with you? Who else do you need with you? Got everyone you want? And you can position yourselves within, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 feet from where I've just dumped you on the map, if you want to put yourself a little bit more strategic.
Well, I'm still up in the air quite a way, aren't I? So I'll be... So, yeah, I'll be sort of where I am, up.
So you're holding an action, Neven. Cass is next. And Edish, you're after Cass.
All I can do is continue to hold fireball for it to be within 300 feet.
Okay. I'm going to put some kobolds on a roof with a ballista.
No, 150 feet, sorry.
So who doesn't love a kobold on a roof with a ballista?
Whoever they're firing it at probably don't love it.
Yeah.
Are the kobolds called Duskin, Deacon, and
Yeah.
Dukin?
And Dukin, yeah.
How high up is the dragon flying at the moment?
Between 50 and 100 feet.
So we're now probably too high, aren't we, Fred Reader?
Yeah, we have to spend our turn diving down. Well, I will. You're on me, also in my hood, aren't you? So
yeah.
My turn will be just flying, descending, and dashing, descending.
So you holding an action as well, Eris?
How so if Frederick uses his turn to get us close to it, how far off it will we then be? What's his fly speed?
How far have you got to go? How far can you? What's your fly speed?
It's 60 feet, I think. So 120 if I dash in.
Okay, so you're 400 foot up, 100 to 300 to 80, 180 feet away from it. If you were directly above it, that is. You're 180 feet higher than it, and whatever lateral distance you are from it.
I'll try again for find, just in case.
Yeah.
So that's a strength saving throw 14.
Okay. That's a 19.
And I will attempt to take my reaction because my cosmic omen at the moment is woe.
Okay.
Let me just see what I can roll. Please don't be too shy.
Next up is Thread Reader, followed by
Damn
Snitch.
it. Meets it so it beats it, unfortunately. So close.
Oh, right, okay. So Threadreader, you're
Yeah,
doing your dash.
Yeah, I'll just head down, try and close the gap with the ground.
Okay. And then Snitch.
I'm probably going to start my terrible plan of climbing that rope.
Okay. So make a acrobatics check, please.
I was hoping you'd say acrobatics.
8. That's tough.
Oh, not strong.
Yeah. I mean, you can grab it and you begin to make some progress. What's your movement? 30?
30.
Yeah, okay. You make 30 feet up the rope, closer to it.
And then, for the sake of brevity, every turn after this, until I reach it, is just going to be dash climbing until I reach it.
Okay, so you're gonna 60 feet of movement turn then.
Yeah.
So you can move your token closer to the dragon, and I'll assume you're gaining altitude as you do it. And I have to keep going back to the old map to get the initiative order. Then it's Velin, then it's a Kobold team. Okay. Velin, well, where is she? She's hiding in a house. She's out of range. She's going to move through a window 30 feet. Dash into this house here. In that one, she's trying to get a more strategic position and within range of the dragon. She's not within range of anything at the moment. And then, anybody want to shoot this ballista? They do so.
I'll do it.
And this is not a disadvantage, I think. What was the disadvantage range, Matt? Can you remember?
Anything over 120 feet is disadvantage.
Okay, so it will be.
What was it under?
Inventory. You can use the screen that's already up there. Ballista
It won't let me.
windows there. You've not got access to it.
It's just been a bit of a pain. Oh. I'm clicking, but it's not attacking.
Oh, somebody's done it. Maybe you. 13 misses. The harpoon sails past.
That was with disadvantage. I thought this one was with...
No, it is with disadvantage. It's 120
okay.
feet or less. I got it wrong.
Oh, okay.
Next is Tok.
Tok's just going to be looking frustrated and looking, are you going to bring this thing down or what? And he will ping off 2 arrows again with his longbow, not expecting them to do much. I'm guessing it's long range, disadvantage.
15 misses, 20 hits.
Wow.
10, nice.
Yeah, 10 piercing damage. Again, another 2 incredibly long shots with the longbow.
Chipping away. The team of guards take a shot. If anybody wants to shoot the ballista.
Which one?
Middle one. Doesn't matter, they all do the same. And we are with no disadvantage, so just a straight shot this time. That hits.
Nice.
15. So it's doing minimal damage as you expect, but there are 3 ropes on it now. 3 anchors, ragged through walls, buildings, snagged on cobbles, snagged on towers, and it's coming down to rest. It's landing. It can't fly anymore.
I
should have moved.
I'm now picturing Snitch slowly getting up that rope, like droopily being just like lay down on the ground as it lands.
He just maintains an inch above the ground.
Still climbing.
As the rope comes down.
I mean, I may
He
as well
hasn't
keep climbing.
He hasn't looked down, so he doesn't realise he's
furiously climbing. The northernmost Kobold Ballista team can take a shot if it would like. Disadvantage up here.
a building in the way.
Yeah.
If it's on the ground.
So 9, yeah. It thunks into the thatch of the
I need to just shush, don't I?
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder whose side you're on.
I can't turn off GM brain, that's the problem. Or turn off even.
And now we come to the dragon. So the dragon is on foot now, so he's moving only, wow, 30 feet. But he is within range to make an attack.
No. See Veronica like, no, the same, I just shot it and didn't move. Thought it might come down nearer to us, but...
Yeah, I thought it would do a, you know...
At least, I think me and Eric are still about 300 feet up in the air, so...
Yeah, all that planning, it didn't...
We'll see you when the combat's over.
The harpoons were effective.
They were. It was brilliant.
So this breath
doesn't look good.
emerges from its grill. You see it glowing like an oven, and then it blinding light just shoots out towards the ballista and the town militia. They will need to make a dexterity saving throw. So that one fails. That one also fails. So they each take 30 radiant damage. So does the ballista. So you see a militia evaporate. Second militia evaporate. The ballista double damage. Okay, ballista erupts into splinters. And the remaining militia man there is on his behind, just kind of blinking, patting himself down, and just wiping the dust of his comrades off himself, spitting it out. He's completely shell-shocked. But yeah, there's not much left of that team. And that's the dragon's turn. Which brings us back up to even.
So
And
I'm
Cass will be
gonna
next.
move as close as I can to the dragon. What is the height at the moment?
It's on the ground. It's walking,
So,
dragging these big anchors behind it, chains rattling.
where is it? Ooh, okay, 110 feet. I can work with that. I'm gonna throw a firebolt at it. That's the best I can do.
Neven's at the front.
Yes. This is what
He was like,
I can.
Well, let's talk about heroes.
I know.
Horrible. Okay, I'm gonna first attack it with a firebolt.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm just gonna focus and shoot one single firebolt at it.
19 hits. Nice
Okay.
shot.
Some damage.
17.
Nice.
And you see a significant difference from the steel that's been pinging off it to suddenly this arcane energy that Neven wields expertly, weaving and sparking off its armored hide. And yeah, it's doing some decent damage.
And then the next thing I'd like to do is. Oh, these are bad ideas. I'm gonna spend. It's dilemma. I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points, and I'm gonna cast Firebolt again as a bonus action. So I'm gonna quicken the spell. Kind of gonna see me manipulating time a little bit around my hands. As I shot the first Firebolt, another one comes through.
26 hits. Six damage.
Oh, crying out loud! Actually,
6
That
more.
wasn't quite as good as the first one, but it all counts.
Okay, cool. That's my turn.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you've attracted his attention, maybe. Who was next? Cass?
Cass moves 15 feet closer. That's not what I meant to do.
Harris is up next.
And takes the final bead from her necklace of fireballs.
Oh, yeah.
And saving it since Waterdeep.
Oh, no, don't consume spell slot, because that's a necklace.
Okay.
Oh, wait, is Snitch right underneath? Is Snitch going to get hit by the fireball?
No, Snitch is over here.
But wasn't he on the...
No, he was climbing up the rope.
Still climbing up the rope.
Oh, I see.
You didn't climb
He
that
wasn't.
fast.
No, okay.
Okay,
so
so
it needs to make a saving throw.
That's a 17. Half damage.
Half damage.
31.
Something. And bonus action. Oh, this bloody thing is in my way. Move my... Where's my...
Oh, yeah.
Where's your thing gone?
Drag it back on again, I think.
That's right, I got it. There we go.
It's there.
Put it there.
There, look. See it there? Where my mouse is.
Oh, now I've got to delete it. Oh no, because it has to be there because it can only move 30 feet. So I will use my bonus action to move it 30 feet closer.
Okay.
I really seem to not know where 30 feet is. There. And then can I use my movement to sort of duck into this house?
Sure.
Or find some form of cover?
Yeah, you can jump in through a window.
Whee!
One sec.
If I can.
Oh wow, the roof disappeared when you went in that house.
That's really
Nice.
cool.
I assume that looks like a door, so I'll just be on the other side of the door. Oh wait, I already moved 15 feet. That's too much movement. That's too much movement. Oh
Give
shit,
your
where was I?
spiritual weapon a different colour so it's easier to see. Hopefully. Not
Where?
much.
I don't think I'd have made it into the house because I'd already moved 15 feet. Yeah, about there. That's me.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Good turn. Eris is next. Threadreader, you'll be after Eris.
I take it we've had one turn of movement so far.
Yeah.
So we're at about 380. So I'm just gonna not do anything because I need to be closer.
Okay. You want to hold an action or?
I'm not gonna be close enough to do anything until we need at
Okay.
least 2 more.
You've done your movement then, yeah? Or do you want to?
Um,
You need to
I-
be where you are.
I'm just
Oh, of course, yeah. You're on
I'm on
Threadreader. Yeah.
Threadreader.
Got you. My mistake. And Threadreader then.
I am just going to hurt as quickly as I can directly towards the dragon for now, because we're that far away. So
That always seems like a sensible option, doesn't it?
yeah. Well, we're a long way away from it yet. So
Go for it, mate.
yeah, I'll move and dash. I tried just bring myself sort of 30 feet closer to it, but most of the movement will be down or something.
Well, no, you used your last turn to get to the same level. So.
Oh, we're on the same level. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
Give 100 foot or so, but cool, you're at the same level. It's fine.
Okay, in that case, we get 60 feet movement. So
yeah,
we move 60 feet closer. I'll see. Then we might be able to do something.
So how far away are we? I'm trying to do maths, but I'm terrible at it. So
I'm 140 feet away.
You guys are
35 feet. Yeah, so I will move.
Which is basically 2 turns of dashing, unfortunately.
Well, depending on how far the dragon moves.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
What I'll probably do then is use my action to dash, and I'll head onto the roof of the house.
Yeah, because you're flying, so you can do that.
To there. So if we're on the roof there, sort of hiding on the roof for the minute until our next turn.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Excellent. And who's next? Let's have a look.
Me.
Oh, I've lost both initiative orders now. Oh shit.
Andrew's just kicked me out.
Oh.
But if I knew that we were going to be within range, I would have held a guiding bolt.
That's fine. You can do that then.
Okay.
Have you just been kicked out? I might just do a refresh.
Tom, how close to the ground do you say you are?
We're on the roof now. On the roof of the house.
So you're not actively flying, are you?
No.
Okay, cool. Just so I can drop that without you dying.
Was that all right, Steve? Is that what you meant? Or are we still hovering a bit up to?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I was cursing because I've lost the initiative, so I'm going to have to get everyone to roll again. But if you can remember roughly where you were then. And I know the dragon was last, so that's easy.
Yeah.
I had 9.
I had a 20.
I had 12. I was up to Threadreader.
Yeah, it's 15.
No active combat. There we go. Oh, look, I rolled 9 again. I don't know how to adjust it though. You might have to drag me.
can't do either. You just drag them, do you? Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tom, have you really got 36 hit points?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Is that good? Is that good or bad?
That's just blown my mind. I've got 86.
Yeah, well, I am a wizard.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
suppose
also
so.
got a spider on his back who is just built for today for healing. It's all I'm going for at the moment.
Mine 20, Steve. I don't know if I can change it.
You were at the top.
It's uneven.
Cass was next, then it was Eris,
Then
wasn't it?
Eris, yeah. Then me, then Snitch.
Let me add Eris.
Yeah, I have actually got 46 at the moment because I've got my 10 temporary ones.
Yeah, I'm including the temporary ones in.
Red Reader was after Eris. Then it was Snitch. How far down were you after Snitch, Talk?
I think so. I was on 9.
That'll do. We're somewhere near. And then the NPCs. Then Dragon. So who's just had their turn? Eris, wasn't it? You were going to do a guiding bolt.
Yeah. So. Misses 10.
Yeah, that misses. Ready to move. Snitch is next, I think.
Now, I have logical reasons for this, but I'm going to continue along that rope.
Okay.
Mainly, it's things like I'm going to have an easier time getting onto it if I follow the rope, and if it somehow becomes able to fly again, I'm still going to be in the process of being nearer to it. So I'm going to move and then dash and then bonus action dash, so I can move the 90 climbing speed, which would get me about here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to hope it doesn't notice the tiny little goblin speeding towards it on a rope.
Why are you on the rope? It's on the ground.
Yeah, but he's going to have an easier time to get onto the back of it, climbing from the rope, than if he has to climb it.
Yeah.
And if for whatever reason it finds a way to take off again, he's still going to be near it. So yeah, that's Snitch. Scurrying along the rope, going fuck.
Okay. Talks up.
There's not much I can do really. Is this a wooden fence or a stone wall or what? What's this?
Yeah,
here?
it's a bit of a low fence.
So, in fact, I might just go for the. I mean, is it something I can just hop over or crash through?
Yeah, both of those. No rolls required, but in return, nobody's getting any cover from it.
Okay, and then I will use my action to dash.
Okay.
And give Snitch a weird look as I see him pulling
Don't
himself
worry,
along this rope.
Cinematically, I've got the camera close up on Snitch's face as he's climbing this rope, and then it just pans up and it sees him lying on the floor, crawling on the ground. Ballista. Which one? Must be this north one. So that's going to be a disadvantage. In fact, I'm going to say it hasn't got line of sight. Skip. They'll hold in case it comes into view, if anyone can remember that.
Yeah.
Next one is this militia man who's stood up now. In fact, I'll do a save for him.
I think as Tok runs past him, he'll just say, "Just go. You've done all you can."
He'll
can't see the stream. Can't see the GIF. The GIF game is. There's not been many GIFs tonight, but that is a powerful play there, Veronica.
Okay. We should find a way of putting them onto the Facebook page, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Like an extra camera for the GIF.
Yeah.
The GIF cam.
Yeah.
The
I probably could do that quite easily in OBS.
Oh, it's at disadvantage as well. So I'll say it misses. So the ballista misses now that it's on the ground level and there's hedges and trees and things in the way. Belin. What range is she at now? Just in range. She will let go a magic missile. Elky 3 comes corkscrewing out the window of this house out of nowhere, whistling like cheap fireworks, squealing, corkscrewing, smoke coming off the back of them. All hit the dragon in the face. Doing a total of 13 force damage. That's her. Dragon is next.
Shit!
Oh yeah.
He hadn't even. No.
He's caught himself running forward. Hang on.
Dragon, now that he's on the floor, is moving much slower, dragging his anvils behind him. Moves 30 feet to there. We roll for a recharge. Ooh. Okay.
Don't like that ooh noise.
I'd like Snitch and Tock to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, that's my speciality. Failing wisdom saving throws. Oh! I don't know what's the difficulty.
It was a 16 to beat, so you just made it.
Blaming you for my failure.
Thank you, Lathander.
Oh no. It's all about the
Well,
prayers, you see.
the chances of the man that's crawling along a rope on the floor passing a wisdom saving throw.
You blink, Snitch. Look down at the rope. Look at your hands. Drop the rope. Stand up. Look at Tock. And realise he is your enemy.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
You are charmed, but you can make another save at the end of each of your turns.
Would you rather it was the other way round?
I mean, I could have just hid atop the fucking dragon on my next turn.
Oh. Nice.
You're up.
That's brilliant.
That is brilliant. It's probably lucky it wasn't the other way around. Steve's been desperate to mind control Tock for so long.
In hindsight, with the amount of attacks you can do and everything, yeah, you probably take Snitch down in the one.
Yeah, we could be looking at player deaths there, couldn't we?
Neelan is going to move 30 feet that way in the bushes. And it's gonna go deep into Tock's mind and give him a bit of a jolt, a bit of courage, if you will.
Come on!
Comes.
Also,
by the way, sorry, Nathan, go on.
Oh, I will also shout back, Threadweaver, you can't fly anymore, so don't attempt it.
He's stuck on the roof.
Sorry, this is more important.
True Superman jump off the side of the roof next turn.
He's just about to leap off. Thread reader, by the way. No!
The Wile E. Coyote dust cloud.
Like Assassin's Creed, but there's no hay bale to land in.
That was that was it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's nothing else to do. Can I do anything else?
You got any bonus actions or?
Yeah, I don't think I got anything useful. I can move someone away, but I don't think that's good. No, it's fine. That's what I'll do.
Okay, Cass, you're up.
Spiritual weapon, 30 feet.
Yeah, huh?
Me, 30 feet.
Yeah, huh?
I think this is going to be the last fireball I can throw before it hurts everyone else.
Don't
So
let that stop. Yeah.
another dex save, please.
Sure.
There we
15.
I can't see the dice rolls.
go. Oh, I can't. I can't place my template that it hits it.
Damage. Okay, so half.
That's good.
Good. He's looking. Well, you can see his health bar. He's taking damage. There's cracks beginning to appear. There's chunks broken off. I mean, he's still relentlessly pushing forward, but yeah, for how long? Who knows? Eris, still in spider form, perched atop Threadreader's shoulder.
I will cast Call Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a dex save of 14, but it's not done any backing damage really anyway.
Dex 14. Oh, that's an 8.
Oh, so it takes 18 lightning damage.
18, wow. He's hurting. And it's funny because you've just cleared the skies, but then just momentarily above Eris, clouds appear once more, briefly, and this crack of thunder accompanies this flash of lightning down, hits the dragon, and it sparks and coruscates across its skin and wings and into the ground, and it leaves a small plume of smoke rising from the dragon, which dissipates on the wind. But yeah, you've done some damage. Anything else?
No.
Threadreader.
Okay. So I'm gonna shuffle a little bit further on the roof, just so I can see at the edge a little bit away from the other. If it'll let me move, there we go. And then, as a bonus action, I'm going to manifest mind.
Okay.
And that means what Tox sees to just over his shoulder, a little glowing like mote that flies around and forms the shape of a rune, sort of just 10 feet away from him. It's a bit like a spiritual weapon. It's a manifestation of my spell book.
Nice. Do you need a token for that?
Yeah, if you don't mind, because I'm going to cast spell from it.
Just use a torch for now. If that's okay.
Perfect.
You should be able to move it.
Brilliant. So I'll pop it there, and then with my spell book open in front of me, I start chanting, and the mote flashes, and a lightning bolt comes from it and passes through the dragon.
Okay.
Hopefully.
Make those rolls. Dex save again. Wow, you hit me with these dexes. Oh, it's a 7.
I go through the dragon. I can't seem to place this properly.
No problem. No problem. Is it a beam? Is it?
Yeah, it's a 5-foot wide beam that goes 100 feet in from the moat.
Problem. So roll for damage, please, buddy. Oof. Shit, with the lightning attacks. Okay.
That's my
Light damage.
turn.
Okay, good turn. Snitch. You need to dispatch this foe.
Yeah.
It's threatening everything you hold dear.
Suppose in my mind it's basically Snitch goes a bit feral again, and just starts screaming.
He's taken all your gold.
So I guess in that case it's one stab with the short sword.
Mm-hmm. 11, I think that's a miss, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, 16.
And then a bonus attack with the dagger.
Okay.
I don't think it's 17.
That's a hit.
I think you lose something doing bonus weapon attack from the attack rolls, don't you? Like proficiency or something.
Only on the damage roll.
Oh.
I think it's only on the damage roll.
Yeah,
You don't get the bonus on the damage roll.
Okay.
I think.
It's a whole 1d4 damage. Oh, I was hoping for a 1.
You're not raging either, Tok, are you?
No, it's full damage there.
Yeah. So it's just Snitch consistently going ah. And
if
like,
I was raging, that would have maintained my rage, and I would have thanked you for it. But yeah, Tox, this 6'6" dragonborn barbarian, and there's this little goblin just like
gnawing at
in the knee.
He probably looked very confused.
He knows he's got to kill a dragon.
And a wisdom save. So now I'm still charmed.
You're still charmed. Tok, you're up.
When I get in base to base with this, you're gonna sneak attack me, aren't you? Tok will sort of lift his head up, let out this roar, and just rage, and then charge forward.
Okay.
Into this thing.
Don't forget to get an extra attack.
Oh yes. I do love Neven.
I just got a picture of Tok charging ahead with this goblin hanging onto one of his legs, trying to gnaw on the back of his car.
Hanging onto one of his legs. I am also going to attack Reckless.
Oh.
I got so many attacks, it's worth it. So that's a 20.
Hits. Damage roll 19.
19. Okay. So second attack.
24
again,
hits.
Reckless. Won't be quite so impressive. 13.
19 comes off. 13 comes off.
And then with this strange haste, he'll suddenly seem to get a second wind and go for another one.
How do you want to do this?
Really?
Yeah.
We haven't all died. With that sort of third hasted attack, as it brings its head down, I think Tok will just literally plant the halberd in the ground and let it impale its head.
Nice.
On his halberd.
And it does so. Thumps down. It's so pitiful, almost tangled in these ropes and anchors, and its head comes crashing down. A puff of snow and dust clouds up around, and when the dust settles, you just see Tok's halberd protruding, tip pointing to the sky, to the clear sky. the sun shining through, and the light, this furnace light that emanated from through every chink in this dragon's construction, slowly fades, and it's motionless. Well done.
What if it restarts?
It does feel like we got off lightly there. Is Snitch still attacking me?
Yeah, are we still in initiative?
It's a good point. I don't know if that.
Imagining the stabbing his leg gets like gradually slower until he realizes what he's doing.
Looking at his hand,
You,
going,
you realise
"What
that
am
you're
I?
still just
What
stabbing
am I
one more
stabbing?
time.
What am I stabbing here?" Looks up. Oh, sorry, it's you.
Oh, you're a really big Durgar.
I mean, it's charmed, so it's whether that persists after the. Charmed. Let's have a look.
I don't know. If it was a spell, it would. I don't know.
I'm going to say it drops when the dragon drops. It was caused by the dragon's presence, and it has no presence anymore because it's dead.
Yeah, I think the charm person spell is concentration. I think so. Maybe it's on a similar thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't shrink because it has a mutable form.
Oh, okay.
The dragon is immune to any spell or effect that would alter its form.
Back off.
Oh, that explains it.
That explains it. It was a good plan, though. Anyway.
Yeah, you weren't to know. You couldn't have known.
I was only one off on that Earthbound, and I was so annoyed. Earthbind. I really want to use Cosmic Omen so badly.
If you still a spider, Eris, so turn around and have a look.
Yeah, I think really I'm still on your shoulder.
Oh right, okay. I think check you're still there and have a look. We have initiative.
Yes.
And I'll cast Featherfall on myself and just step off the roof.
Okay.
Lass is going to have a moment where she goes, "We're alive. We're alive!" And she's just running towards Tok, shouting, "We're alive!"
Tok will probably be holding Eris by his collar. Not Eris, Snitch by his collar. Sort of looking at him. What are you doing?
You'll come to and you'll have a piece of Tok's cloak in between your teeth, and you blink again. What is?
Is Tok the only one that's hurt? Did anyone else take any damage?
Not really hurt. It was temporary hit points from aid spell.
I don't think anyone took damage, but that's mainly due to the prep you did.
We're invincible.
The ballistas, the kobolds, the anchors, the harpoons.
Have the squishy people out of the way.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I really thought we were going to get smushed.
Yeah.
Quite surprised me.
All I am is healing spells at the moment.
From within the bushes, you'll hear a voice go, "Tok, did you get him?"
Thanks to you, Neven, I got him.
Can I come out now?
Come out, it's dead. Watch out for Snitch, though. He's gone a bit psycho.
Oh.
I'm fine now.
Well, that was easy.
It was easy.
Do you reckon there might be another one?
It wouldn't surprise me.
I hope that one's more fun.
Are we heroes now?
Yeah, I think so.
Should we take this one apart a bit more? It just feels like.
Well, Eris said, "What if it starts back up?" And
Yeah.
yeah, I know I've got it through the head, but it's not really a head, is it?
I'd hate if someone would try and rebuild it. If it's only the head off of it, it sort of leaves the option open a bit, doesn't it?
And all those things you can try next session.
Oh yeah, 10 o'clock.
That was almost perfectly timed as well.
Well, yeah.
It's like we planned it.
It's like we
All that
overplanned
planning. We did overplan, didn't we? With
Goodness
hindsight.
me, the amount of conversations about what to do.
Well, that was the
Much
Battle of Bryn
worry.
Shandar.
Yeah, which we had in
It
Targos.
was. Which we had in Targos. Yeah, we didn't get through a whole session without changing the plan, did we? Oh dear.
Well
What
done.
are we like?
It had a lot of hit points, had a lot of resistances. You good? What can I say?
Did we just avoid all the resistances? We did learn about the resistances, didn't we, last time? So
You did. Yeah.
I mean, hundreds of people are dead.
We just
This
watched.
High
this is
five!
true.
We watched two of them get basically disintegrated.
If we look back on the Icewind Dale map, let's take a look. Dugan's Hole. Goodmead.
It's more like two towns now.
Conig. Tourmaline. Lonelywood. Bremen.
towns. Well, 2.5 towns.
Could we have like really got to any of the towns earlier? Like without we'd have had to not sleep, wouldn't we?
Yeah, we would have had to have not rested, I think.
Yeah. Or picked one to go to sooner and try to take it down there. If you'd have headed straight to Caerdineval maybe and defeated it there, then there's another 1, 2, 3, 4 towns we could have stopped it from getting to.
Don't rub it in.
No, I mean, of things that you
would
could
have
have
had
done,
no
could have done
abilities.
differently, but you may not have been able to take it down, and then you'd be dead, and then all the towns would be destroyed rather than you saving 3 or.
Exactly.
It just depends how it goes.
The people were saved. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Buildings can be rebuilt, but people got out.
We got a lot of messages to people as well that they said we evacuated a lot of towns before we got there, I hope, and so we did our best. We did our best at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, you've been prepping for this really for many sessions pretty much since you discovered that there was Durgar hiding out in on the mountain, and you sent Jarthra out to warn all the towns.
Yeah, and they all built ballistas.
Made it.
And they all built ballistas, which wouldn't have been there had you not done that.
I have a question now. Purely because I didn't get to do it, what would have happened if I'd have managed to have wedged the immovable rod in the Shardlin Dragon?
That's a good question. It would probably have just stopped moving, be the equivalent to a grapple.
Okay.
Because if you was to snag yourself on a barbed wire fence and it went under your skin, you wouldn't continue running. You'd go, oh shit, and if you couldn't get it out, you'd just stay there. You wouldn't deliberately hurt yourself.
Oh, I was hoping this sudden stop would be like a truck hitting a bollard or something. But
yeah,
that works.
I mean, maybe for a turn, but it wouldn't have continually done that. It would have just pinned it, I think.
I'm sad Snitch didn't get to climb all the way up on top of it. But there'll be other large things he can try to climb in moments of very bad decisions, I'm sure.
I'll make sure of it.
Steve, do you get to go through a list of NPCs now and go, they can be dead. They didn't survive.
Already done it.
Oh, good.
Drawn up the short list of if a town didn't make it, which people I need to cross off. And shops which are now unavailable.
Oh no, it's different when it's nameless people. Oh no. Might be someone we spoke to.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't visit many towns, but you did. You spent quite a bit of time in Caerconic. Speaker Trovis.
Yeah. That Frost Maiden worshipping Dragonborn.
That was in
Who
East
Tot
Haven,
quite.
I think.
That was it East Haven? Tot quite liked her at first, till she started praising the Frost Maiden in public. So no loss there.
I mean, you have to wait to see if any attention's been brought on you, really, to see if that's had any effect. Still early
Use the
days,
Summer
yeah.
Star again.
Yeah, that was the last charge in that. Does that mean does that recharge at any point, or is that done? Do we know? We probably don't know, do we?
Done.
What? Know that?
It says the number of charges on it.
Yeah, it's 2 charges.
Oh wow, okay. Well, at least we used it for a good moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fought in the light. See what you were doing.
I thought it recharged. Well, crap.
You did identify it as well, so
Yeah.
or everything was revealed about it.
We have plans for it. Perhaps we could recreate one.
Maybe there's a way to recharge it. We just need to figure it out. Probably involves the sun, which there isn't any at the moment.
Well, no, it was made when there wasn't sun, wasn't it? So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
There you go.
Mm.
You've only just hit level 6, but I need to tell you that I think for killing the dragon, you hit level 7.
Ooh.
Really?
But I think you do, yeah.
Goodness me.
That's awesome. I haven't even used my level 6 ability yet.
Oh, this is phenomenal.
That was me using my level
awesome.
6 ability. Was making that note appear in the air. So I just got it in.
Yeah, well, my new ability is if I'm raging and I fail a saving throw, I can re-roll it once per rage. So I would have used that if I got charmed, but it's quite exciting if it's true. I don't know what I get at level 7.
4th level spell. Ooh.
I get evasion.
Is that like half damage from a blow once around or something?
It's anything that forces me to take a dex saving throw to take half damage. I instead take none. So I basically treat every dex save like it's a cantrip now.
Nice.
Decent. Yeah, I've checked level 7 for everyone for bringing down the dragon.
Sweet.
Awesome. I get advantage on initiative rolls now. And I can no longer be surprised or something. If you are surprised at the beginning of combat and aren't incapacitated, you can act normally on your turn.
Even if,
but only if you enter.
A previously
but only if I enter a
goblin
rage.
starts chewing your ear.
That's quite surprising.
Yeah, basically. As long as I rage, as long as the first thing I do is rage, I can't be surprised. Apparently, I can be surprised, but my anger can't be. Nice. Oh, I've been waiting for that advantage on initiative rolls forever because I always roll terribly.
There it is. Anyone else get anything good at level 7?
Oh yeah.
Druids, clerics, sorcerers.
I'm yeah. If you thought Neiman was a cunt before.
Oh joy. I've just got one level 4 spell slot.
Same here.
Same for me. There's some quite lovely level 4 spells though.
Yeah.
Summon Greater
level
Demon.
4.
not one for Threadreader, but a hell of a spell.
Wow.
Oh wow! One more level and I'll be over 100 hit points.
I got a whole 4.
Oh, I get to prepare more spells, which just makes the whole thing more confusing.
But better.
Yeah. If that Summer Stars died, do we still have the temporary hit points, or have they gone?
No, the temporary hit points were unrelated to the star.
Okay.
Lavanda.
Oh, I did. I get
Looking
to
down on your
summon
cast.
an elemental.
Ooh, that could be useful.
Just pray every few sessions. We'll be good.
He's got a new mustachioed boy up there as well now.
If Cedric becomes your guardian angel.
Pray to Cedric.
I think we've joked that Cedric and Cass probably could have actually known each other, seeing as they're basically in the same faith. Or at least there was there's a degree of more potential than I don't know. Not.
Where was Cedric from?
Baldur's Gate.
She'd never been to Baldur's Gate.
No.
Has he been out of Baldur's Gate?
Probably, yeah. He'd probably have to be at some point. I wouldn't know where.
Don't worry about it, he's dead.
Dick. Well, you get to spend more time with his lovely replacement next week.
My work here is done.
Oh yeah, you get to play with my replacement as well. Or do you?
It will open up once more again. Now that the dragon is defeated, 10 towns is saved. Are we the bad guys?
2.5 towns.
Anyway, yeah, 2.5 towns is saved. So you'll have some choices about where you want to go and what threads you want to pick up on and follow, which will be revealed next session when you're all level 7.
And I'm unstoppable. Sorry, what?
Don't worry, Neven.
There is something it does remind me there is something we need to deal with at some point.
What was that? Neven, was it?
Not Neven, but something.
You thought a dragon was dangerous. You don't know what plans you have for Neven.
Didn't bring those spells today, so let's enjoy the victory tomorrow.
Cool.
In other news, I now have polymorph.
Oh,
nice.
Which I'm very excited about.
Decent. That means I'm going to have to import a load of random animals into my bestiary.
Yeah. we could always go with the fact that it should really be something that Eris is aware of, so it's that should limit it a little bit.
She's only seen a snow hare ever.
And an owl bear.
She wasn't watching properly.
And a random T-Rex.
A zombie T-Rex.
I have to say, Steve, I bet you're glad that wasn't an in-person game and you didn't buy the mini for the Sharpening Dragon at like 70 quid or whatever it is, only for us just to completely destroy it. You'd be gutted.
When something like that happens, I'm gutted but made up at the same time. I'm
Yeah,
made up
yeah.
that you've done it. I'm a little bit disappointed that it was a bit too quick, bit too easy for you. But you did the groundwork for it to make it easy. So
Yeah.
that's the
No, I know.
benefit you get. You know.
That's yeah. I've had similar things in my other campaign where the players just plan it so well and have everything set up. They just it almost
Walk
makes
it.
it feel easy. Yeah, they walk it, and then you have that weird kind of like, oh, they walked it, but at the same time you're kind of proud that they
Yeah,
set
that's
up all
that's the reward for doing good planning.
Mm.
So
yeah, there you go.
I hope it wasn't too disappointing, too easy.
Fail to plan to fail.
Yeah.
It didn't feel easy, and it was still a surprise that it died. To be honest, I still thought we were going to die. If any of us got hit by that beam, I thought that was probably it.
Yeah, that beam would have hurt. But it's in its behaviour that it was to target the siege weapons first as well. So
yeah, and ultimately, yeah, we've killed it, but we let it destroy this town.
I mean, shit
Didn't we?
happens, man.
I think let it destroy those towns is a bit taking a bit more responsibility on there than we really ought to have. We couldn't have stopped it really if we'd have headed straight off to the next town. We wouldn't have been able to stop it. I don't think.
No,
it would have just destroyed more towns in the long run. I think we made a good decision. Although it's not nice one, but I think it was the right one.
there's going to be a lot of people without homes now.
Yeah. I remember
someone else can do the read.
We didn't make the dragon, did we? So you can't really. Whatever happened, we didn't release it either. So we're not responsible for it.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to get 2.5 towns to trust Duragar after they've had to deal with that fucking dragon, though. Like, oh, you would like to trade?
That's true.
Durex and we can make Durex and Spaghetti the ambassadors.
Yeah.
Yeah, they helped us defeat the dragon.
Yeah, it could work.
We can make it clear that the lady was helped us overthrow the person that sent the dragon.
And they would have diplomatic immunity. Stream's still on, Matt.